Welcome back to Awakening the Inner Avatar. In today's journey, Aang and his friends return to Omashu, a city once full of laughter, slides, and freedom. But what they find is shocking. The Fire Nation flag now waves over its walls. This episode asks us to reflect on loyalty, survival, and the rare strength of patience. King Bumi calls it neutral Jing, the power to wait, listen, and act at the right moment. From afar, Omashu looks the same, but Aang's heart sinks when he sees the Fire Nation banner. To him, Omashu felt untouchable. Now, it has fallen. Katara and Sokka think they should move on, but Aang refuses. His friend, King Bumi, is still inside. He will not leave him behind. The trio slips into the city through the sewers. It's messy, smelly, and Sokka emerges covered in purple marks from pentapus creatures. When Fire Nation guards confront them, Katara cleverly invents pentapox. The guards panic and run away. Elsewhere, Azula listens to her advisors. They suggest she change her approach in capturing her brother and uncle. Azula agrees and decides to form a small elite team. She visits an old friend first, Ty Lee, a performer at the circus. Ty Lee is cheerful and content where she is. At first, she doesn't want to join Azula, but Azula's manipulation pushes her, and soon Ty Lee agrees. Back in Omashu, Aang and his friends search for King Bumi. They look for a place where he might be held, somewhere he can't earthbend, maybe surrounded by metal. Meanwhile, we meet May. Her father has been appointed governor of Omashu. Bored and restless, she complains that nothing exciting ever happens. That changes when Aang and the others attack and flee, leading them to the underground resistance of earthbenders and refugees. Aang asks if Bumi leads them, but the guard explains that Bumi surrendered the very day Omashu was invaded. The guard insists the only way to freedom is to fight, but Aang offers another perspective. Sometimes survival means retreat. The earthbenders reluctantly agree. The challenge? How to get the refugees out of the city. Sokka steps up with a plan. The pentapox trick. The sick refugees walk toward the Fire Nation guards. Bells ring, panic spreads, and the governor orders the plague victims to be driven out of the city. At the same time, Aang finds Flopsy, Bumi's pet, chained to a wheel. He frees Flopsy and searches for Bumi. Elsewhere, Momo finds food and accidentally finds the governor's baby. Carried by the city's delivery chutes, the baby is swept out to the refugee crowd. Momo and the baby end up leaving Omashu together. Night falls. Aang returns to the refugee camp, exhausted. He has not found Bumi. But the guards now face another problem. The baby is with them. The governor believes the resistance has kidnapped his child. A messenger bird brings word. The governor will trade King Bumi for his baby. Sokka worries it's a trap, but Aang feels hope. Meanwhile, Azula arrives at Omashu, now with Ty Lee at her side. She reunites with Mai, and together the three form her new trio. Their first target, the Avatar. Both groups meet for the exchange. Aang, Katara, and Sokka on one side, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee on the other. Azula quickly takes over. She puts Mai in charge of the trade, renames Omashu New Ozai, and changes the terms. For her, this is no longer about a baby. It's about capturing the Avatar. Chaos erupts. Katara fights Mai, only to be struck down by Ty Lee's chi blocking. Sokka rushes to protect the baby. Aang tries to free Bumi, but when the chains fall, Bumi refuses to leave. Bumi explains he has chosen neutral Jing. There are 3 Jings: positive Jing, which means attack; negative Jing, to retreat; and neutral Jing, waiting, listening, and striking only at the right time. Bumi cannot teach Aang earthbending, but he tells Aang this: find a teacher who understands neutral Jing, someone who knows how to wait and listen. Let's take a breath. This episode reminds us Omashu seemed too strong to be conquered, yet it fell. In our lives, even what feels most solid can shift. Now ask yourself, where in my life have I faced something I thought would never change? And what did it teach me? Now repeat to yourself, when life surprises me, I stay open to adapt and grow. The refugees learned that leaving Omashu was not defeat, but survival. Sometimes stepping back is strength. Now repeat to yourself, where in my life am I being asked to step back? Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Now repeat to yourself, retreat is not failure. It can be the path to strength. Bumi's greatest gift was showing Aang that waiting is not weakness. It is a kind of strength, the discipline to act at the right time. Now ask yourself, where can I practice waiting instead of rushing into action? Now repeat to yourself, I trust the right moment will come and I will be ready. Omashu is lost, renamed New Ozai, but Aang leaves with something more important than victory: wisdom. The wisdom that even strong walls can fall, that retreat can be survival, and that sometimes the strongest action is no action, simply waiting until the earth itself whispers, now. Carry this into your own week. Wait, listen, trust. And when the time comes, move with courage. This is Awakening the Inner Avatar. This podcast is a fan-created project intended for educational and spiritual reflection. All clips, references, and content related to Avatar, The Last Airbender, Star Wars, Rebels, and other media are used under fair use for commentary, analysis, and transformative discussion. All rights to original shows, characters, and music belong to their respective creators and copyright holders.